you're having a biological experience. I want to scream that at people so that they understand, okay, you're having a problem. You're going to blame yourself. You're going to say you're a loser. Stop. Remember that this is a biology problem. Solve for the biology. You're missing something.
Amen.
If you are, look, some of this is psychological. There is no doubt, but the psychology is built on top of the biology. And if you, I mean, look, it is a feedback loop. There is no doubt. But if you're going to give me one lever to pull, I'm going to pull the biology lever first and foremost, most aggressively, because if you have all the desire in the world, but you cannot create the ATP, you're not going to be able to do the things you want to do. Like when people ask me how I have so much energy, how I can work so hard, all that, I'm like, well, first of all, at a cellular level, I can generate the energy to do the things that I want to do.
So true.
And I'm so focused on my energy levels, my biology. I eat based on my goals. I sleep based on my goals. Like I do all the things that I need to do to optimize my biology because I'm trying to do these things, and goals make demands.
Right.
So if you're trying to be the best parent, if you're trying to be an entrepreneur, if you're whatever, it doesn't matter what you're trying to do. You are going to have to be able to be hyper persistent. You're going to have to be completely determined. There's a great quote, forget, he's a super famous coach, but he said, fatigue makes cowards of us all. I always thought, ooh, that's something. To think that I have a completely different personality when I'm fatigued.
Oh, no doubt.
That's one of those.
And you're also in a low oxidative state. Yeah.
I think that I have never thought about it in terms of oxygen because I don't know the process well enough. But that makes a lot of sense to me that whatever thing we're describing, if we're using a sort of blunt tool like the word fatigue, or we're really down into the weeds and the answer is oxygen and the rate at which it's traveling through your system, it's the same idea. Your physiology is stopping you at some level from doing the thing you want to do. And this was an idea introduced to me by Jordan Peterson, where he said, we have micro personalities. And he's like, when you're in a certain mood, and he always used the example of an alcoholic. You have an alcoholic, they're a different version of themselves, entirely different set of morality, the way they act, whether they're aggressive, whether they're willing to lie, like all these things. Like they slot into a very knowable set of personality traits when they're after their next drink. And when I thought, ooh, that's really interesting. So I have a different micro personality when I'm feeling really anxious that I don't respect in myself. That doesn't mean I don't respect other people dealing with it. I'm just saying one of the things that I do to pull myself out of that is I just do not allow myself to stay there. Now, of course, I need to address the biology as well. But it's like that's the feedback loop. You have to get the biology right, but you also have to get the mindset right because they are going to feed back to each other in this never.
But the mindset is born from the biology. You know, we talked earlier about what is a mood, what is an emotional state. It's this collection of neurotransmitters. Manufacturing those neurotransmitters, creating the supply. And then once you create the supply, learning to regulate it is a part of what creates all these little anchors that are off of our stern.